Let's discuss fishing. Now, I know it's not for everyone, especially if you're not fond of the outdoors, but don't let that stop you from taking pleasure in the fruits of other people's labors. After all, fishing is more complicated than simply heading to a river and attempting to reel in something or becoming so good that you enter a competition. There are some really large fish out there that are just begging to be caught, and some of the things that have been caught in our world are so enormous that they will truly blow your mind. So keeping that in mind, here are the top 10 biggest river monsters ever caught. Number 10. You will notice a lot of Jeremy Wade on this list for one very obvious reason. The man literally made a living by fishing for monster fish on Animal Planet under the name Catching River Monsters. He was very skilled at what he did, so you will see a lot of fish that he caught, including the Goliath tigerfish. The fish, which is about 2 meters long and weighs approximately 45 kilos, is a terrifying sight to see due to its gigantic size, as seen in these images and videos. This is the reason why many people in Africa are afraid of it. The adult Goliath tigerfish will consume any other fish it can overpower, even the Nile perch. This leads us to the fish's teeth. Yes, fish do have teeth, and some of them may be rather frightening, such in the case of the Goliath tigerfish. Its teeth are said to resemble crocodile teeth, and they are shaped in a way that allows them to bite off large chunks of the fish they are eating. It's not very scary, but you might be thinking, did you just say that it only eats other fish? Well, that's a nice way to think about it, but it's not entirely true. The Goliath tigerfish has attacked people. In fact, a young girl in the Congo once dove into the water while wearing a belt intended to ward off evil spirits. However, the belt also attracted the tigerfish, which nearly killed the girl by biting her in half. Interestingly enough, this is what prompted Jeremy Wade to go look for the fish, and another incident involved the tigerfish killing a man after it jumped out of the water and bit him in the neck. You see why this fish is easily referred to as a river monster. Before carrying on, please like the video and hit the subscribe button. Number 9. The irony of this next entry is that, regardless of its size, you could very easily claim that it is a river monster. The electric eel is a species found in Brazil's Amazon River, and, if you're on the wrong side of its size range, it can grow to be quite large and powerful. Its maximum length is 2.5 meters, which is significantly larger than the average adult human, but even though it weighs only 20 kilograms, this creature is still impressive in its own right, because, as you may already be aware, the electric eel can shock its prey with an electric shock through the water, either killing it or stunning it. Additionally, since water is a good conductor of electricity, anything that the bolt strikes in a river will almost certainly sustain damage. And what kind of power output am I talking about? Oh, just a small 600 volts. It can handle such a shocking blast because it has multiple organs dedicated to producing electricity, which begs the obvious question, do these eels actually have enough power to kill a human being? Yes and no. If the conditions are right, it could kill a person, but not from the shock alone. It would be more than enough to injure someone, who would then fall into the water and drown due to their paralysis, but it wouldn't be the same as being struck by lightning. And yet, although wearing rubber gloves, Jeremy Wade did manage to snag an electrified eel. Number 8. The paddlefish is a unique freshwater fish found in North America that is known for its long paddle-shaped nose. It navigates rivers with its distinctive rostrum, filtering plankton and small organisms for food. These ancient fish are often reaching impressive sizes and play a vital role in aquatic ecosystems while contributing to the diversity of river habitats. If you're curious, the reason it is called a paddlefish is because of the protrusion out of the front of its head, which looks like a paddle. I'm sure none of you want to get hit by that. It is also thought that their noses can aid in locating prey in their vicinity. However, this is not all good news. Like other fish species on this list, they have also been overfished to the point where their population is extremely small. If nothing changes soon, this so-called primitive fish species may very well go extinct. Number 7. Never let it be said that the world's rivers don't contain some rather unusual fish that kind of blow your mind away. The Arima is one such fish in many ways, and like many others on this list, it can be found in the Amazon River. It's one of the largest freshwater fish in the world, which may make it special but not particularly monstrous just yet in terms of its size. The largest one ever caught was measured at over 200 kilograms and over 3 meters in length. That's a massive fish that you may not expect to find in a river, but it was apparently there. But wait, there's even more. This fish is unique in that it is an armored fish, meaning that its body is essentially covered in armor. This is made possible by its scales, which are much harder than one would think. Despite this tough exterior, the fish can still move and swim with ease, demonstrating how well it has adapted to its battle-ready state. And if you want things to get even stranger, I can tell you that this fish constantly comes up for air, meaning that it will drown if it stays in the water for an extended period of time. I'm not sure how that works, but it does. Who would have thought that a fish could actually drown? Its diet consists of other fish, crustaceans, fruits, seeds, insects, and small land animals that approach the shore too closely. This makes sense, as the fish needs to be near the surface in order to pursue prey that it can reach without having to dive too far. And, yes, Jeremy Wade did catch one of these, but he also apparently got attacked by a swarm of them. What a brave man. Number 6. The world's largest freshwater fish was captured in 2022 by the people of Cambodia when they managed to capture the giant freshwater stingray from the Mong River. Depending on the species, stingrays can range in size from small to large, and this one was clearly on the larger side of things, weighing in at over 300 kilograms, which is quite huge. More importantly, though, was that it broke the previous record for the largest freshwater fish, which was set back in 2005 when a whopper-sized catfish was caught in Thailand. If you're wondering how much the bulk measures with its length, it was over 4 meters long. The enormous stingray is truly massive, just take a look at it for yourself. It was set up with acoustic tag technology, which allows biologists to learn more about the elusive behavior of the elusive creature. That's right, they released the fish, which was the right decision on all counts. Even though it was a record fish, it shouldn't have been held captive for longer than necessary, and the data we were able to gather from it may help us learn some really important information about the species in the future. Of course, not every fish on this list is returned, but it's good that at least some are. Number 5. Although it might not seem difficult at first to believe that we have a fish that is over a century old, there is a twist to consider. How would we know that the fish is over a century old? After all, humans don't precisely track every animal in the world to determine its age, and the ones that we do track don't always get checked on, or they might pass away before they reach a certain age. Plus, unlike trees, you can't cut a fish open and examine its rings. Before releasing it back into the wild, the fishermen in Chilliwack, British Columbia, caught a 3-meter-long sturgeon on the Fraser River. The fish was estimated to weigh 270 kilograms and to be close to 100 years old. How did we know it was approximately 100 years old? Well, because of its size. Like many creatures, the bigger it is, the older it can be, so this means that this one was quite old if it was that big and long. Another irony is that the fish didn't have a tag on it, which is strange because there were many sturgeon in that river that had tags. Which means that the fish had survived in that river for around 100 years before finally being caught. Number 4. There are certain fish species that fishermen strive to catch in great quantities and for contests, and the catfish is unquestionably one of those marks. It is a common species found all over the world, but occasionally, as you will see in the case we are about to see, they can grow extremely large. In Italy, for example, a man was fishing earlier in 2023 when he felt he had caught a world record-breaking 2.7-meter catfish. Upon closer inspection, you can quickly realize that this is not just another fisherman's tale because it is extremely large. I'm not sure how big the fish is, but the guy caught it all by himself without any assistance, demonstrating true fishing skills. He released the fish back into the water so that perhaps another individual or group would catch it in the future and enjoy it just as much. In the meantime, I'm not sure how much the fish weighed. Number 3. This is another amazing fish, but it wasn't caught by the person you would expect. The person who caught the 2.5-meter alligator gar was YouTuber Peyton Moore. He estimated that the fish weighed roughly 136 kilograms, which is still an impressive catch by any measure. He also claimed that the fish was the largest of its kind to have ever been captured on camera in North America, though that claim isn't really official. To be fair, he did capture images of the fish, and we do know that it is real and that it was taken in Texas in 2022. When you see how much the fish resembles an alligator, you'll understand why it's named the alligator gar. Number 2. Before you start freaking out, what you need to know is that there are many snakes in the world that don't mind being in the water, and the green anaconda is one of them. They can be found in Brazil and like hanging out in the Amazon River. In fact, there's a famous video of some divers filming one as it lies completely submerged. The largest snake ever captured on camera was over 10 meters long and weighed in at 400 kilograms. It was discovered by some construction workers. Thankfully, they were able to relocate the snake without killing it. The snake was so large and weighty that it needed a heavy-duty vehicle to move it out of the area. Although it's possible that the snake doesn't attack people, I would prefer not to test that theory. Number 1. Meet the Nile perch, a fish that is found throughout much of Africa for a variety of reasons. Firstly, it is known to exist in the waters where the Nile River touches, which is a lot of countries. Secondly, it is a fish that greatly benefits the local economy and is therefore sold frequently, which implies that it is fished frequently, but fortunately it is not in danger of going extinct just yet. The large freshwater fish is known for its predatory nature and size. It has been introduced into other water bodies and has had an impact on local ecosystems due to its silver scales and powerful build. Although the Nile perch is highly prized by anglers, its introduction into other areas has raised many ecological concerns as it affects native fish populations and creates difficulties for the local biodiversity. In addition, the perch can grow up to 2 meters long and weigh 200 kilograms, which is another reason why it makes such a delicious meal. That's all from the worlds of the water, where fishermen have caught incredible fish. Of these enormous fish, which did you find most astounding when you saw how big they were, and which shocked you that they were even caught at all? Maybe you know of another fish that could have easily made it onto this list. If so, please tell me about it in the comment section below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.